Create 3 overlapping frames to add interest to a photo using the rectangular marquee tool. Here is a preview of what we will be creating together. I will be showing you how to create 3 overlapping frames to add interest to a single photo. This video is being filmed in expert mode of Photoshop Elements, but the instructions are exactly the same for Photoshop except where noted. Begin by creating a new document at 300 pixels per inch with a white background in your preferred scrapping size. I'm using a 12 by 12 inch document. Press the letter D to reset the color chips to the default of black over white. So what is a good photo to use for this technique? A good photo will have a clear focal point, such as a person or a group of people standing close together. Another good photo would be of a building, a monument, or a landscape photo. Next, open a photo that you would like to use. I already have a photo open here. Then get the Move tool. On the document, while holding down the Shift key, click and drag the photo onto the new document. If your photo is larger than your document, press Ctrl-T in Windows, that's Command-T on a Mac, to get the transform options. Click and drag from a corner handle of the bounding box to resize your photo so it's within the bounds of your document. If you cannot see the bounding box, press Ctrl-0 in Windows, Command-0 on a Mac. Click and drag inside the bounding box to reposition the photo. Then click the checkmark to commit. In the Layers panel, double-click directly on the name of the photo layer and rename it Photo. Press Enter or Return to commit the change. Now let's create the first frame. In the Layers panel, the photo layer should be active. If it is not, click on the photo layer to make it active. Hold down the Control key in Windows, the Command key on a Mac, and click on the Create a New Layer icon. Double-click directly on the name of this new layer and rename it Clipping Mask. Press Enter or Return to commit the change. Now get the rectangular marquee tool. In the tool options, click on the new selection icon, set the feather to 0 and the aspect to normal. Photoshop users set the style to normal. On the document, click and drag a selection over a small important part of your photo. I'm selecting my daughter's face. To reposition while dragging, press and hold the spacebar. Then press Alt Backspace in Windows, that's Option Delete on a Mac, to fill your selection with black. You won't see the selection fill with black on your document because the clipping mask layer is below the photo layer, but you can see it in the Layers panel. Press Ctrl-D in Windows, that's Command-D on a Mac, to deselect. In the Layers panel, click on the photo layer to make it active. In the menu bar, choose Layer, Create Clipping Mask. Now let's add layer styles to create the frame. In the Layers panel, click on the Clipping Mask layer to make it active. In the menu bar, choose Layer, Layer Style, Style Settings. Set the lighting angle to 120 degrees. Click directly on the word Drop Shadow to open the settings. Set the size to 13, the distance to 8, and the opacity to 50. Click on Stroke to open the settings. Set the size to 25 pixels, the position to inside, and the opacity to 100%. Click on the Stroke color chip to open the color picker. Choose white and click OK. Click OK to close the Style Settings dialog box. Photoshop users, please refer to the manual for settings. Now we are ready to create the second frame. In the Layers panel, the Clipping Mask layer should be active. If it is not, click on the Clipping Mask layer to make it active. While holding down the Shift key, click on the photo layer. Now 2 layers should be active. Click on the Create a New Group icon. Double-click directly on the name of this new group and name it Frame 1. Press Enter or Return to commit the change. Press Ctrl-J in Windows, that's Command-J on a Mac, to create a duplicate group. Double-click directly on the name of this new group and rename it Frame 2. Press Enter or Return to commit the change. Now get the Move tool. In the tool options, uncheck Auto Select Layer. In the Layers panel, click on the arrow to open the Frame 2 group. Click on the Clipping Mask layer to activate it. It is very important to make sure only the Clipping Mask layer is selected, not the photo clipped to the clipping mask. On the document, Click and drag the clipping mask to another part of your photo that you would like to frame, making sure the frames overlap and the clipping mask stays within the boundaries of your photo. When overlapping the frames, make sure the frames don't cover up important parts of your photo, such as someone's face. If you'd like to vary the size of your frames, you can resize the clipping mask by pressing Ctrl-T on Windows, Command-T on a Mac to get the transform options. Then click and drag from the side handle of the bounding box to resize. Then click the check mark to commit. Once you are happy with the placement of your clipping mask, click the arrow to close the Frame 2 group. Now let's create the third frame. In the Layers panel, the Frame 2 group should still be active. Press Ctrl-J in Windows, that's Command-J on a Mac, to create a duplicate group. Double-click directly on the name of this new group and rename it Frame 3. Press Enter or Return to commit the change. In the Layers panel, click on the arrow to open the Frame 3 group. Click on the clipping mask layer to activate it. On the document, click and drag the clipping mask to another part of your photo that you would like to frame, making sure the frame overlaps one of the previous frames and the clipping mask stays within the boundaries of the photo. As I mentioned earlier, you can resize the clipping mask by pressing Ctrl-T in Windows, Command-T on a Mac to get the transform options. Then click and drag from the side handle of the bounding box to resize. Then click the check mark to commit. Once you are happy with the placement, click the arrow to close the Frame 3 group. If you would like to change the order of your frames in the Layers panel, click and drag the frame group you want on top to the top of the Layers panel. Then finish your page as desired. Here is my finished page. My daughter pitched her last game in travel softball last summer, and I wanted to document the moment for her. The overlapping frames let me highlight her and the softball, while eliminating the distracting background behind her. For a free PDF version of this video, click on the download link and then make sure to subscribe to our YouTube channel. This has been Carla Shute from Digital Scrapper, the very best place on the web to find complete and professional instruction for digital scrapbooking. We help you get your stories told.